In the quiet town of Oakville, nestled among the green hills of Vermont, there was a small veterinary clinic called Hope. The clinic was known for its caring staff and modern equipment. Dedicated veterinarians worked there, always ready to help any animal in need. The head veterinarian was Dr. Sarah Thompson, a middle-aged woman with kind eyes and a gentle smile. Sarah had devoted her life to caring for animals and, over the years, had seen many amazing cases. But the story that was about to unfold would forever change her view of veterinary care and animals. It all started on a typical Tuesday when the clinic received a call from the local airport. An employee reported that an unusual shipment had arrived from Vietnam, 2 puppies found on the streets of Ho Chi Minh City. Sarah immediately sent a veterinary ambulance to bring the puppies to the clinic. When they arrived, Sarah's heart sank with pity. In front of her were 2 tiny creatures that looked more like skeletons covered in skin than living dogs. The older puppy, despite his weakness, was holding the younger one tightly, as if trying to protect him any danger. Sarah began a thorough examination. The puppies were in terrible condition, emaciated, dehydrated, and covered in parasites. Both had severe colds, and Sarah suspected pneumonia in the younger one. But what struck her most was how the puppies reacted to each other. Every time Sarah tried to separate them for examination, they would whine and reach for each other. The older puppy, whom Sarah named Buddy, constantly tried to shield the younger one, whom she named Charlie. Their bond was so strong that it seemed almost tangible. Sarah shared the puppy's story with her team. It turned out that they had been found by Buddhist monks during a morning walk through the streets of Ho Chi Minh City. The stray puppies were lying in a cardboard box, soaked in the rain and shivering from the cold. Out of compassion, the monks took them under their care at the temple. There, the puppies received their first aid, were fed, and warmed up. But it soon became clear that they needed serious medical treatment that the monks could not provide. So, they contacted an international animal protection organization, which managed to arrange for the puppies to be transported to another country. Sarah and her team developed a treatment plan. The puppies were placed in a quarantine box, where they were given a course of antibiotics and anti-parasite medications. The small animals received IV fluids to restore their hydration and were fed special food to gain weight. The first days of treatment were critical. Sarah practically lived at the clinic, constantly monitoring Buddy and Charlie's condition. She noticed that when the puppies saw each other, they seemed calmer, and their vital signs improved. But according to clinic rules, sick animals had to be kept separately to prevent the spread of infections. Days passed, but the puppy's condition didn't improve. Despite the veterinarian's efforts, Buddy and Charlie only got worse. They refused to eat, lost weight, and their immune system seemed to have shut down. Sarah was at her wit's end. She had tried every known treatment method, consulted with colleagues from other clinics, but nothing worked. The puppies were fading before her eyes, and Sarah began to fear that they might have to resort to euthanasia to spare the little ones from endless suffering. One evening, while reviewing their medical records, Sarah noticed a strange pattern. Every time the puppies were brought together for examination, their vital signs improved slightly. But as soon as they were separated, things went back to how they were. This thought kept nagging at Sarah. She remembered how tightly the puppies hugged each other when they were first brought from Vietnam. Could their bond be the key to their recovery? Sarah started researching the effects of emotional connections on the physical health of animals. To her surprise, she found several scientific articles describing similar cases. One study mentioned how keeping sick animals of the same species together sped up the healing process. Another article discussed the importance of social bonds for the immune systems of different species of animals. The next morning, Sarah called a meeting with her team. She proposed a risky plan to place Buddy and Charlie in one box and treat them together. Many were against it, believing it violated protocol and posed a higher risk of spreading infection. But Sarah stood her ground, feeling it might be their last chance. After much debate, it was decided to give Sarah's plan a try. Buddy and Charlie were placed in a specially equipped box where they could be together but still be closely monitored. To the surprise of the entire clinic staff, just hours after their reunion, the puppies began showing signs of improvement. They became more active, started eating, and even playing with each other. Sarah couldn't believe her eyes. It seemed like the puppies had breathed new life into each other. With each passing day, Buddy and Charlie grew stronger. Their immune systems began to fight off the diseases, and their weight gradually returned to normal. Sarah carefully monitored their progress, documenting every change. A week after their reunion, a true miracle happened. Tests showed that Charlie's pneumonia was starting to recede. A few days later, the signs of a severe cold disappeared in both puppies. They began gaining weight and spent more time playing rather than lying still. Buddy and Charlie's story quickly spread throughout the clinic. Staff members came to see the miraculous puppies who seemed to have defied death thanks to their incredible bond. Sarah constantly told her colleagues about the importance of emotional support in the healing process. News of the unusual case soon spread beyond the clinic. The local newspaper published an article about Buddy and Charlie, calling them the miracle puppies from Vietnam. People began visiting the clinic to see the amazing dogs in person. Among the visitors were the Anderson family, John, Mary, and their daughter Emily. They came to the clinic to make a donation, but, upon seeing the adorable Buddy and Charlie, fell in love with them at first sight. Emily, a 10-year-old girl with pigtails, couldn't take her eyes off the playful puppies. The Andersons began visiting Buddy and Charlie regularly. They brought them toys, treats, and most importantly, gave them love and attention. Sarah noticed how the puppies perked up at the sight of their new friends. Time passed, and Buddy and Charlie fully recovered. The question of their future arose. Sarah knew that they could never be separated, but finding a home for two puppies at once was very difficult. The Andersons, without hesitation, offered to take both puppies home. They understood how important it was for Buddy and Charlie to be together and were ready to give them a truly loving home. Sarah was overjoyed. She couldn't have dreamed of a better family for her charges. The day Buddy and Charlie left for their new home was both joyful and sad for Sarah and the entire clinic staff. They had grown attached to these amazing puppies, but were happy that they had found a loving family. Emily couldn't hold back her tears of joy as Buddy and Charlie stepped through the door of their new home for the first time. The puppies, as if sensing that they had finally found a real family, joyfully raced around the rooms, exploring every corner. The Andersons created the perfect environment for Buddy and Charlie. They bought them comfortable beds, lots of toys, and even set up a special play area in the garden. But the most important thing was that the puppies were always together and surrounded by love. Sarah often visited Buddy and Charlie in their new home. She happily watched them grow and thrive, transforming from sickly puppies into beautiful, healthy dogs. Their bond remained as strong as ever. They still slept cuddled together and went everywhere together. Buddy and Charlie's story not only changed the lives of these two puppies, but also had a huge impact on the work at Hope Clinic. Sarah began introducing new treatment methods, paying more attention to the emotional state of animals. The clinic even added special boxes for the joint housing of animals of the same species. Moreover, Buddy and Charlie's story inspired a whole generation of young veterinarians, showing them that there is always room for true miracles in their profession. Thus, two little puppies from Vietnam, thanks to their incredible bond, not only survived but also changed the world around them. Buddy and Charlie's story became a symbol of hope and love, reminding all of us that sometimes the most important medicine is simply being close to those we love.